Good day. Today, let us see about Uml elements and standards. Basically, we have three major elements. We have things, relationships, and diagrams. When it comes to things, again, we have four categories. The first thing category, it's called a structural thing, which normally is called as the noun of UML modeling language. It represents the physical as well as the conceptual aspect of software design. There are seven elements which structural thing will represent. One is the class, then we have the interface, we have the collaboration, we have the use case, we have the active class, component, and node. Then we have a behavioral thing, which is normally called as the verb of UML modeling language. It represents the behavior over some period of time. It represents the dynamic aspect of software design. You have two kinds of behavioral things. We have interaction and state machine representation. Then we have grouping things in UML modeling language, which represents the organization part. And we normally group objects or elements together, and normally it is called as package grouping thing. Then we have annotational thing, which is nothing but it is used for adding more information to explain something, to give an hint what an element is or what an object is. So it is called as the explanatory part of UML modeling language, and it is used to remark. Say for example, if you want to add more information and you cannot do it, then obviously you will be using annotational thing, and we represent the explanation in terms of note. So these are the seven elements. Class is represented like this. It's a rectangle box divided into three compartments. It will contain the class name. Now, class can be a person, it could be an event, it could be a thing, it could be an occurrence. And you have the second partition, which describes the properties of the class, and then what operations you can do on the data of the class is represented in the third compartment. Then we have interfaces. Interface is normally represented as a circle symbol. It's a collection of functions. It is mainly used to connect one component with the other component, adding or giving, requesting some services or providing some services. Then we have collaboration, which is nothing but a behavioral exchange of data between the objects and the elements present in the UML. Then we have use cases. Now, use case is represented as this oval symbol. It represents one particular task done by any user. And then we have active class. Now, threads are also called as active class in UML language. And then we have component. Your modules are represented like component. And then we have a node represented like a cube. And then, as I said, there are two behavioral things. One is interaction. For interaction, we'll be using an arrow mark. It could be a directed arrow mark like this, or it could be an undirected arrow mark. Then we have state machines, which represent the various state the system could be in, and which is physically visible to the end user. Then we have one grouping element, which is called as package, which will group several components together. Then we have annotation thing. We'll be using note. Note is represented like this physically. Coming to the second element, relationship, we have four major category of relationships available in UML modeling language. First relationship is called dependency relationship. Now, dependency relationship means that one object is dependent upon another object. If you change one object, obviously you need to change the other object. If that is the case, we say it is dependency relationship exists between two objects or any two elements in UML. Then we have association relationship. Now, association relationship is nothing but it will tell that one object is somehow it is linked with another object, and it could be directional or it could be unidirectional, only one-way communication, or it could be bidirectional, two-way relationship can exist. Association just says that one object has a relationship with another object. So you have unidirectional association, you have bidirectional association, you have aggregation association, you have composition association, then you have your cardinality and your multiplicity, one is to one association, one is to many association, many to many association, or some n number with a n number association. All these are possible. It just indicates that two objects are related, they have some relationship with one another. Then we have generalization relationship. It represents parent-child relationship. Inheritance is represented using this generalization. This is represented as a halo aramak, and it showcases hierarchy. Then we have realization. Now, realization is a relationship that shows that very easily we can convert the class objects into code. And the same time, realization will tell that you can create something that is executable in terms of code with respect to this kind of a relationship that exists between two classes. And it also says that one, say for example, whenever you find realization, then you can find a lot of information about another element, about another class from another class. Say for example, you have two classes A and B. From class A, you get to know what class B is. At the same time, from class B also you get to know what class A is. Then we have 9 types of diagrams. The first one is the class diagram, which I already said. It has 3 compartments. And then we have object diagram. Difference between class and object is class is more, it will tell name and age. Object is an instance of class. So very specifically, name means it will tell it is Jones. Age means it will tell exactly it is 35. And then we have use case diagram. Use case diagram shows set of use cases and actors. Actors represent users who will be using the system, and use case represent what task the user will do with respect to the system. Then you have sequence diagram. It shows objects and how the communication takes place between objects in a very timely manner, how event notifications also take place between objects. Then we have collaboration diagram. Collaboration diagram is also called as communication diagram. It will tell how communication is done between two objects with the help of messages, and how the messages must be numbered and represented. Then we have activity diagram. Activity diagram is similar to flowchart, but it is nothing but a set of tasks. Each and every activity represents a set of tasks which the user does, and it shows the behavioral aspect of the system. It is dynamic in nature. Then we have component diagram. It showcases the various modules available in the system and how the modules are interconnected with the help of interfaces. Then we have deployment diagram, how we can create your that is how you can create your interfaces, how you can create your packages, and how you can install in your finally when you get your software done, how is that you need to have a deployment model to deploy in the client side systems, right? Okay, so that design is represented in your deployment diagram. So it could represent client server system. It's very your deployment diagram is known to represent client server systems, your databases, your packages. It could be combination of packages and components and a set of interfaces. Everything will come in your deployment diagram. Thank you.